If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Well, hello there. Hello, everyone. Hello, America. Welcome to Open Mic America. Tonight featuring our founder and interviewer, Capo Dave Williams, our awesome show engineer, TK Tran, and of course me, Laura P. Albertowitz, your show host tonight. Our mission here at Open Mic America is to support the local brick and mortar open mics. It's our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who play at those events without any gimmicks or frills. This is the beating heart of American music, that tapestry of song and story that has been weaving us together for generations. And I am so pleased to show you the 9 wonderful performers that we have tonight. Go ahead and wave when I say your name. We're going to have the Hewitt Family Band from Brookhaven, Mississippi. You can often see them at Songwriter Night at Natchez Brewing. We have Gillis Mills from Grafton, Vermont, who normally would play at Skunk Hollow Tavern. They're not current right now because of COVID, but we know they'll be back at some point. We have Nick Carter from Riverside, Connecticut, often at Ed Train's Acoustic Jam on Thursday nights. We have Paul Colombino from Wakefield, Rhode Island, at Pump House Music Works in Peacedale, Rhode Island, last Sundays of the month. Then we have Lisa Walker from Brentwood, Maryland. She's often heard at the New Deal Cafe in Greenbelt, Maryland. And of course, Mick Schafer and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, often heard at Lindman's River Rest Inn in the open stage. That one goes back 28 years and it happens every Wednesday night. Then we have John Paul Dove from Union, Mississippi, also playing at the Natchez Brewery, so you could get a 2-for-1 if you go there. And then we have Laura Zucker from Lafayette, California, who plays at the West Coast Songwriters Work in Progress and will actually be hosting the next Tuesday night West Coast Songwriters Work in Progress, so you can catch her there. And then we have Jimmy Joe Natoli from Dale, Texas. They often play at Giddy Ups Thursdays in Austin, Texas, or at the Spoken and Heard at the Kick Butt Coffee on Sundays. As you can see, we've got quite the lineup for you, and I don't know, guys, are we ready? Are we ready to play? Are we ready for some songs? All right, because first up, we've got the Hewitt Family Band. Go ahead and take it away.
Neat.
Okay. Welcome, John Paul Dove, our friend from Union, from he's a Mississippi boy, and yesterday was his birthday. So, that being said, the song's called Our Side of Town. Knew everybody, they knew me on my side of town. I had my friends, we would play all day on my side of town. When we went to school, things were different. There were some kids not from my side of town. They wore different clothes, they wore different shoes, not like those from my side of town. And Mama had always told us, play with kids from your side of town. Be nice to everybody, but play with those from your side of town. I'd always tried to do what Mama had told me, to follow her good advice. She was always looking out for me and told me to always act right. Well, then one day, I think I was 16, my whole world turned around. I saw a little girl in my history class. She was not from my side of town. She had blonde hair, she had blue eyes that flashed when she looked at me. I knew she was not from my side of town, but it made no difference to me. 'Cause Mama had always told us, play with kids from your side of town. Be nice to everybody, but stay with those from your side of town. But how could Mama have been so wrong about those from the other side of town? She had not seen that little blue-eyed girl and her blonde hair all falling down. But I asked that little girl to our high school dance in front of God and the whole wide world. We dated all through high school, and now we have a little place of our own. And now my mama loves her. She has grandbabies of her own. We have a little house beside the railroad track, and we call it our side of town. We call it our side of town. Oh, we call it our side of town. I'm sure none of y'all's mothers know.
That was beautiful.
That one is just now out on Charlie's new album that's not really online accessible yet, but it will be. It's backwards. Sorry about that. Oh, well. You can see the picture.
It's a better rendition.
And the artwork on here is done by an artist who is 82 years old and still active and, you know, making money selling
She's
art.
a young lady. I'll show a picture. This next song is about a photograph I'd carried around in my wallet for years. Me and my first girlfriend at the Texas State Fair. And I don't know why it took me this long to come up with a song about it, but it's just called My Photograph. I have a photograph, it's a treasure of mine, from 1964. It's faded and folded, it's been in my wallet for all of these years. Walking down the midway, the Texas State Fair, happy as we could be. I loved her with all my heart, I know that she loved me. Holding hands in the sweet Texas air, no need to rush anywhere. We were floating through life, our plans were all made. We were both happy this way. She was in school, and I was too. We thought we had our lives on track. Even had plans for the future. We had everything down pat. But things can change in a moment before we could take a breath. One day she was there, then she was gone. Now I'm left with my photograph. It was the first time my heart had been broken. Never dreamed how it would hurt. But as the years passed, I learned more about life and the pain that came with the hurt. Now I look back at her face on that photograph. She doesn't have a care in the world. She's walking along, holding my hand, so happy in that photograph. But things can change in a moment before we could take a breath. One day she was gone, and she was gone. Now I'm left with my photograph. Yes, I'm left with my photograph. All's left with my photograph. My photograph.
Bravo.
So sentimental. And I love that you have the photograph that you could share with us. That makes it really cool.
Wonderful tunes, Charlie and Libby. I love those songs about relationships and stories from going back and such. And Charlie, you go back a long way. I was looking at some of your bio stuff, and you've played in the joints in New Orleans back in the old days. And maybe I get you to talk a little bit about that. About those must have been some wild times playing in those bands in New Orleans, huh?
It was a folk club, the Bayou Room on Bourbon Street, and I came from Summit, Mississippi to New Orleans from making $50 a week down there to making $185 a week for playing music. Only way I could ever describe it was it's like getting paid for sex. I was in heaven.
What year was that you were making that? That was some serious money in those days, right?
1966. Oh,
66. Yeah.
it was. And the downside of that is after 6 weeks, the two guys I was playing with were killed in a car wreck, and they auditioned, tried to replace us for several months, and we had individuals good. But the person that replaced us was Jimmy Buffett. That was his first big break, and he writes about it in one of his books. I think he was Son of a Sailor. He doesn't use our names, but tells about the incident and how he got started down there. It's really interesting.
Got started by virtue of a car wreck. Imagine that.
I put him where he is today. I don't know.
And Libby, you've been active in choral singing and such.
Yeah, I'm more of a church choir person.
Okay, maybe you settled them down a little bit. Is that right?
No, other way around. Southern
No.
Baptist girls singing in bars now.
Oh, she got wilder as a result.
Now, I'm trying to rein it back in. Like today, I missed choir practice because I've double booked, and because we're studying Vivaldi's Gloria. It's what I'm supposed to be singing at the end of the month.
Okay. So you guys get out to play quite a bit now? Well, of course, with the COVID, you don't, but you're looking forward to some stuff, right?
There's a lot of churches now. Played our church this morning.
So it's one or two small places a month. We're very careful about where we go. But
Yeah, yeah. Have you got any recording stuff going on lately? What was the last stuff you recorded? I know, Charlie, you've written over 700 songs, I believe.
Probably 50 years. Oh, look, the two we sang tonight are going to be in this CD. They all dressed up and sound much better.
Wow.
I got one that we did. I think I may have done it on the last show that we were on. It's called Not Being on the Road. It's called Addicted to a Microphone, Stranded in a Downtown Bar. And if you see that title, you have to listen to it. Wow.
I'm not sure whether it's the microphone or the applause he's addicted to, but he's addicted.
Well,
Actually, I hate to take credit, but I have a co-writer for a lot of these songs, and my co-writer for my song, Jeff Huffman Jr. wrote most of the words of this song. But it's a really good song about being on the road.
well, guys, thanks for coming on Open Mic America. Sure enjoyed your stuff, and hope you can come back. Take care.
We
dude.
love it. Anytime we love it.
Let's give it up for the Hewitt family band one more time. It's a great way to kick off the show. Love it. And of course, I have to shout out your background. It's beautiful, and it's a great way to kick off the show. And now we're going from a beautiful set to a much more laid back, kind of more darkened set to really give you that intimate feel. We've got Gillis Mills coming to you from Grafton, Vermont. Take it away. It looks like you're still on mute, Gillis.
I didn't mean to hurt nobody. Didn't mean to do no harm. Didn't mean to hurt nobody. Didn't mean to do no harm. With this peace I'm feeling, must be forgiven for my wrongs. I'm just a pilgrim on this sacred highway home. A pilgrim on this sacred highway home. The road I chose was rocky. It was steep and washed out too. The road I chose was rocky. It was steep and washed out too. I kept right on slipping and sliding until the truth it cut on through. I'm just a pilgrim on the sacred highway home. A pilgrim on the sacred highway home. When my time comes, I am ready. This life has been one wild ride. When my time comes, I am ready. This life has been one wild ride. You know truth is better than fiction. I look forward to the other side. I'm just a pilgrim on this sacred highway. A pilgrim on this sacred highway home.
Easy. Well done. Well done.
So this the next song is a little different. I like to just write whatever on my mind at the time and about my life and discoveries and stuff. I'm a little older and I've had a bunch of experiences. And so here we go. This one I call Trouble. Hello, trouble. How do you do? Step into the light. I want a good look at you. Hello, trouble. You know you are my friend. You always push me harder than I've ever been. When things get too easy, well, I just don't care. I kick back and I get fat. Don't go nowhere. Hello, trouble. You just blow into town. The party's getting started. Come try and bring me down. Well, I don't know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Trouble, you're my teacher. You taught me how to win. Yeah, trouble, you're my teacher. You taught me how to win.
Yeah.
Woo!
Right.
Really groove into that last one. I didn't want it to stop. It's like, yeah.
Trouble, you're my teacher. That's the story of my life.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Right.
I'm going, but I sure know where I've been. Yeah.
That's true.
Well, you've got
True of me.
you've got some serious roots blues stuff going on there. It sounds like I'm listening to an old '78. Do you want to talk about your influences?
Yeah, it's I grew up listening to music, although my parents weren't musical, my brother nor sister were either, but for some reason I was attracted to the radio. This is before television in Houston, Texas, and I was born in 1939. And the radio in Houston in those days, when I was a little kid, in the 40s, was really good. You could hear whatever you liked, and I gravitated towards country and western originally. Hank Williams and Hank Snow and Hank Laughlin and Hank Thompson, and those were the people that I loved when I was a little peanut, And later, I discovered the blues, and used to go hear Lightnin' Hopkins live often. It was before he was discovered. He would play. I don't know what they paid him. I bet they paid him high or maybe low grade alcohol and a few bucks. Although I understand he always drove Cadillacs, but I never saw that. But he was great, and he played in a little teeny club called the Little Jazz Bird on South Shepherd in Houston. This in the 50s, and then later, I got into advertising as a so-called creative guy, and got ambitious and competitive and moved to New York to compete in music. I didn't do any music at that time. I played violin when I was like 8 to 10 years old, and then from 10 to 12, I played guitar and taught myself 3 chords and played Western and guys that I liked, the people I mentioned, you know. So anyway, years later, 50 years later, I decided that I wanted to play guitar again, and I started singing. I was living in Lower Manhattan in New York. I lived there for 40 years, then worked in New York. And I lived in a perfect place to be playing with other songwriters. The open mics I played, if you didn't play your own music, they would throw you out. You know, they would say, "Excuse me, you know, we don't do covers here." You know, it was great. And I liked the camaraderie. I liked everything. It's similar. The vibe I get here on Open Mic America is very warm and fun. You know, it's light and anyway. So that's my influences were everywhere. I said this the first time I was on this. I love Ray Charles as a vocalist. Unbelievable, expressive guy. He can take any song and make you like it. You know, he was the best in my opinion. But Sinatra, in his own way, did magical things as well. But I tend to gravitate towards the blues because of the feelings, you know, the truth of it as I myself feel them, and that's why I tend to I think gravitate towards that, you know. But I write about my life and imaginings and so forth, you know.
That is some great stuff, Gillis. So we've heard a guy who's seen Lightnin' Hopkins live and made a transition from being one of the madmen back to being a blues player. That's pretty extraordinary. Thanks for being on the show. We look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here.
Yes, thank you so much. It was wonderful to hear you perform, Gillis. That was great.
Thanks.
And we just keep having one great performer after another, and we're gonna have another one. It's Nick Carter's turn from Riverside, Connecticut.
Hey,
You're
Laura.
on.
Thank you so much. I love the music that's just gone before. I love the range of the sounds, from sort of a gentle Charlie Daniels to J.J. Cale here. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful range of stuff. This song came to life actually in Vermont, on the shores of Lake Champlain, on a very hot, humid August morning. And it's a memory, and it's called Wind from the South. We were barefoot on a blanket, and I wanted to chase away the doubt. At the water's edge, you leaned into me. I still can taste the chocolate on your mouth. Wind soft and warm as a whisper, and the radio singing us to sleep. And there's you and the stars and nighttime guitars, reeling all the years back in reach. Just below the surface, we feel our way along, eye to eye, too right to be wrong. It's a sweet summer fire no water can put out, burning brighter with the wind from the south. How we loved when no one was looking, guilty of the sweetest kind of crime. Of stolen scenes, and you'd reach for me, and I steal the scene every time. Just below the surface, we feel our way along, and eye to eye, too right to be wrong. It's a sweet summer fire no water can put out, burning brighter with the wind from the south. I keep a picture from the day we got married. We're grinning like we found the inside track. And our clothes look dated, but the moment never faded. And we're sure not looking back. It's just below the surface. We feel our way along. Eye to eye, too right to be wrong. It's a sweet summer fire no water can put out, burning brighter with a wind from the south. Sweet fire no water can put out, burning brighter with the wind from the south. Sweet fire no water can put out, burning brighter with the wind from the south. Sweet fire no water can put out, burning brighter. Hear the wind. I want to hear the wind. Hear the wind. Yeah, yeah, the wind. Wind from the south.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Just a moment. These are some of the perils that come when you're trying to play with more than one guitar in a set, but here we go. I appreciate the warm reception of that song. Thank you so much. This next one, I come from Caribou, Maine originally. That's where I was born. And music has always been a big part of my life, but it did fade at times. And there was a period of time in my life where I kind of became a stranger to music and to my guitar. And so this song is called My Guitar Will Be My Compass because it tells a story about how ultimately I found my way back into music. So it's a little autobiographical. Winter '78, finally quit the band for a job back home with family. Just did not see the trouble coming down as my guitar became a stranger to me. Fresh out of school, steady paycheck in hand, pockets full of cash. Had an office in the field, helping farmers work the land. Had 3 good years before the crash. Then the market broke the farms, and banks came calling for the keys. Closed up shop and watched the bridges burn. My hometown wasn't home to me. The right roads don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Went to work on Wall Street, found no peace of mind, started playing downtown bars. Finally broke away and left the suits behind and traded stocks for tips in a jar. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Here we go. On a corner, you'll find me now in Soho, playing like I'm paying off a debt. My guitar case catching quarters for a solo, but it's better than a promise never kept. Oh, it's better than a promise never kept. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. Oh, yes, I will. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. And my song will be the stars I'm guided by. Yeah, the song will be the stars I'm guided by. Now come, my friend, help me find my road. Oh, now help me find my home and be my compass when I go. My guitar will be my compass.
Woohoo!
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank y'all very much.
That last song was really, ooh, I love it.
Well, thank you, Laura.
So here's another case of the business world winding up as less than satisfying, I guess.
You are right about that, Dave.
Yeah.
Not entirely, but yes. I'm
Well,
glad I'm doing what I'm doing now.
The dough sure helps, but
It does.
I think a lot of folks are kind of in the same boat, have spent some years doing things to make money, and then they pick the guitar up after a while again, and that's
Yep.
great.
Yeah, it
So
feels like home.
you've got some stuff coming up, don't you, Nick?
I do. I'm really glad to say, yeah, it's in May. During May 10, I am on a online show. I've been very lucky to be invited by Bruce Swan on his show, Music My Mother Would Not Like, which is a great theme for a show. It's every Tuesday night, and I will be performing with another group of talented folks on that night. And then later in that week, I'm also performing in a small showcase down at the Southeast Regional Folk Alliance down in Black Mountain, North Carolina. So a little bit of tour, not a lot of touring, but a little bit.
Is that a live show down in North Carolina?
The North Carolina show will be, yes, a live show. I think the online show will be online, of course, on Tuesday, but that Thursday night gig on May 12th is live in person.
Terrific. A lot of good musicians down in North Carolina. I've been down to the folk festival down there at Black Mountain a couple times.
Sure.
And that's a wonderful scene. I don't know if they still have that even.
I'm not sure either, Dave, but I aim to go and listen and learn. It's a privilege to be invited to play down there, but I'm going to learn and listen too. There's going to be a lot of talent down there.
Terrific. Thanks for coming back. We've had you on a few times and want to have you back.
Thank you, Dave. Great
Thanks,
to be
Nick.
back. Always great to be thought of. Great to see everybody. Great music
care.
tonight.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Nick. We really have great music tonight. All right, everyone. Are we ready for number 4? Are you ready for more? Because next up, it's Paul Colombino from Wakefield, Rhode Island. It's your turn.
Thanks. I'm going to take the headphones off. So I'm going to do a couple of instrumental tunes tonight. This first one I wrote as a sort of a thank you to the genre of Americana, because as a folk musician, I felt like it revitalized us old folkies. So I call the song God Bless Americana.
Bravo. Bravo.
Wow.
It was a love song without words. I sort of coined the term Everheart, and it sounded like a real word to me when I wrote the song. And I named my first CD that I made back in 1996 after this tune. So this is Everheart.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Woo-hoo.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow.
Sweet.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you, Paul. You know, if I could play like that, I would never sing another note. I guarantee. Exquisite playing. Exquisite
Thank you so
playing.
much. I just enjoy doing it so much.
It's wonderful the way you play. I was looking at your website, and you've played the clubs up in New England, going way back. And I always like to dig into these stories. And you actually mentioned opening for Dave Van Ronk and some of the.
Yeah, but this was back in the 1970s, I think. I had there was an agent that I was working with for a while. He was getting me a few kind of interesting gigs, and one of them was with Dave Van Ronk. So I did an opening for him and got to see the legend, and he did play cocaine, of course. And it was funny because afterwards I was hanging around after his show, and the agent that I was working with came up to me and he said, if you're thinking about, doing anything political, don't talk to Dave. He doesn't want to talk to you. So, okay.
Dave was pretty radical. He was pretty
It's a little
radical.
grumpy, yeah.
Paint us a picture of that club and what it was like. The ambiance of the thing.
Yeah,
the event.
it was really just kind of a small upstairs bar I think it was in Norwich, Connecticut. and it was probably just a stop between stops for Dave, and it was just a funky little place that had music, including some big time names like Dave and a few people like me that were just getting started, and it was a great little place to play, and the crowd, the audience was great. I mean, doing an opening for somebody like that, it's like people are coming to hear the same kind of music that I play. So as I remember, I played a song called "Goodbye Pork Pie Hat" that I used to do an arrangement of on the guitar, Charlie Mingus tune, and a couple of other tunes I think that I did that were my own. But it was a great experience. Just never got to talk to Dave, never got to meet him.
Was he kind of? I always got the impression he was kind of gruff and kind of.
He
Is that
was.
the impression you got?
The impression that I got was his personality was a lot like his voice. He just had that kind of gravelly singing voice, and I think he had a kind of a gravelly personality too. He was funny on stage, though. He was really funny to listen to. He had some great stories, and he just played the heck out of the guitar. And he had this funky old guitar that, I don't know, for some reason those old blues guys can take a guitar that they found in a pawn shop somewhere and just make it sing, and he was one of those kind of guys that could do that.
Thanks for sharing those stories with us. Sure enjoyed your playing, and I can't wait to have you come back.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave. I'll be glad to be here and glad to come back anytime.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
Yes, thank you, Paul. That was lovely. Let's give it up one more time. We are at the exact middle of our show tonight, everyone, and you know what that means. The one and only Lisa Walker from Brentwood, Maryland is coming on stage.
Howdy. How y'all doing? All right, it's good to be here. Do a couple things I made up. This one's called Breaking Down, I think.
Bravo.
This is called I'm Believing. I don't know what to do when it comes to you, babe. So I leave, and I won't be coming back. And I don't know what to say when you turn away from me. So I won't be coming back. If you want me to be your baby, then you better let me know. Time is short, time is wasted. If you want me, let it show. And I don't know where to run or where to hide, babe. So I believe I won't be coming back. If you want me to be your baby, then you better let it show. Time is short, time is wasted. If you want me, let me know. And I don't know what to say when you turn away from me. So I'm leaving, and I won't be coming back. Oh yeah, I'm leaving. Oh, yeah, I won't be coming back. Oh yeah, I'm leaving. Won't be coming back. Oh yeah, I'm leaving. Oh, won't be coming back. Leaving. Ah, you know what? I ain't coming back.
Wow.
That was great.
Great stuff.
Never the same way twice, I promise you. Right? Maybe the same song, but never the same way twice. So,
Lisa, you,
what's up?
you sing with such power, and your songs are unique, not of a type. I can't hear any other people, any other type. And as you play, I can hear a whole band playing behind you. You know, it's totally all there in my head. What you're doing is great. Can you talk about your influences? How you got to be the singer songwriter performer that you are? What did you listen to when you were a kid?
Well, that's funny, because you know, most of us when we're kids, we start listening to what our parents are spinning, right? So my earliest influences would be Ray Charles and Judy Garland and John
Okay,
and Elvis were my
power.
early,
Yeah,
yeah. But
interesting.
then it went on to, of course, the Beatles and just everything. I started listening to Beatles, who are they? Paul Simon, great songwriter. I love Cyndi Lauper, she's awesome. Madonna, I mean, Melanie, you know, brand new roller skate, brand new key. Silvers, I love Silvers. Michael Jackson, I mean, come on. There's so many. Till Tuesday, I love Cranberries. You know, so I think you just, I don't know, they get inside you and they do influence you in some way. I've never tried to imitate them. I couldn't possibly, but they influence me, you know. I like things that are melodic and I like things that are rhythmic, and you put the two together and I'm a happy camper. You know, I'll spin it till it wears out, till the grooves are gone. When I can get the vinyl, that is.
You've got the whole package. For a single performer to play and sing at that level and bring an entire show out of one song, that's very impressive, and that's what you're doing. I really, really respect your work. I really like what you're doing. Thanks so much for being on the show. It was great
Thank you
stuff.
for having me. I love it. I love that you're doing this and creating this platform for us. It's a time when we really needed it, and we still do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Lisa. All right.
Bravo, bravo.
It's always a joy to be on Open Mic America and get to hear all the amazing performers that otherwise we wouldn't have a chance to see because we're all over the country. But that was the halfway mark, so it's time for the stretch. Half mark stretch. Everyone get your wiggles out, Halftime's over. Mick Schafer from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You're on. Take it away.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Laura. A lot of, wow, man, tonight's some night, man. Jeez. It's wonderful to be here. So I want to do a song that has been doing well. It did well at the open mic the other night. Everybody seemed to like it a lot. And this is a song that when I was a little kid, about 4 years old, I came into the house and walked into the bathroom when my dad was in there, and my mother was watching, watching this happen. And she said, what had happened is I came in there and I was like all blown away and everything, and I was just trying to figure out how to say it and ask my dad, because I'd seen a rainbow in the backyard, and I believed, for some reason, I don't even know how I got this way, but I thought that my father, had put the rainbow up in the backyard sky, So, and I'm coming in to ask him, like, man, how did you do that, So anyway, my mom starts crying, and this is one of her big stories that she's thought about, and I was really touched by it. So it finally turned into a song. Over the sink, getting a shave. Over the sink, getting a shave. I'm looking at you, got worship all over my face. Your future's so bright, I gotta be with you. That future's so bright, gotta be with you. I'll go to Reno or Timbuktu. And how'd you make that rainbow get it up there so high? How'd you make the rainbow up there so high? so many colors, backyard sky. Big black car driving away. Big black car driving away. Be back tonight, or is it one of those two wee things? And how'd you ever make that rainbow? Get it up there so high. How'd you make the rainbow up there so high? There's so many colors way up there in my backyard sky. Oh.
Great riff. Great riff.
Woo! Mess up my thing at the end. Oh, I got to get that harmonic at the end a little better. Thank you. Oh, geez, yeah. Okay, so and that's an interesting. It's interesting when I play songs that are adjacent to each other, because the song that's gotten the most energy, I mean, it's getting played on radio some places, is another song that makes it, that doesn't, paint as flowery a picture of my wonderful partying and amazingly talented in a lot of different ways parents. But I'm going to do that song for you too. It's called Over in the Corner. Daddy hooked on women, Mama hooked on gin. Daddy hooked on women, yeah, Mama hooked on gin. I'm over in the corner, watching everything. Oh, damn, Mama loves the house, Daddy loves the car. Mama loves the house, Daddy loves the car. Yeah, I'm over in the corner, wishing I could be the star. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, Daddy can't feel, Mama feels too much. Daddy can't feel, and Mama feels too much. Well, I'm over in the corner, too hard to touch. Yeah, Daddy hooked on women, Mama hooked on gin. Daddy hooked on women, and Mama's hooked on gin. Yeah, I'm over in the corner, I'm learning how to sin. Yeah, I'm over in the corner, watching everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Whoa, whoa, That's what happened. Thank you guys. Thank you.
What a way to end that song. Woo, give me chills.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, you know how it is. If you get to hang around a few other creative people, and you get like in a studio situation, you keep trying out different things, and then one thing kind of lands, and everybody goes, "Yeah, that one, do that one." So that was the way we got that.
Thanks, Nick. We got some big blues going on tonight. A lot of blues.
Yeah,
going on tonight.
Makes me feel right at home.
Well, I got to ask you about that Rainbow song. How old were you when that happened?
4. My mom says I was 4 years old.
I was going to say if you were 14 or something, I would think that you probably, it was a little bit different situation.
No. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't remember it happening. But my mom has such a clear memory of it, or she did when she was here. She's passed about 10 years ago. But that was one of the stories, that would she'd like to just sit back with in early memory because it was just something a little bit special for all of us.
I can imagine any mother would love to hear something like that. Your dad was probably thrilled to hear something like that too.
Yeah, I suspect it probably went over pretty well with him, and I was and I was trying to get any attention of him as I could. He was a mover and a shaker. I didn't see him all that often, but I was very impressed by him when I did.
Did your parents play music?
My parents were radio people. So my dad played DJ. He worked in Indiana, WOWO for a while. He was in that radio station, and another one. And back in those days, music mostly came. This was a pretty long time ago, but all the music came from the major broadcast networks. That's where all the music came from. And so if there was a radio station, it just was piping that in. But little by little, more radio stations started popping up. And people like my dad started just bringing in their record collection, and they're just playing it playing it out over the air for people to hear it. And so he was also an engineer, and that was his main kind of excitement. So he ended up dragging us out to California and just starting his career out there in broadcasting automation. So, but both of my mom and my dad, they were big personalities. My mom had her own radio show. That's how my dad met her in Fort Wayne.
What was the nature of her show?
She was kind of like like you see today, kind of like, it was one of those shows where all the girls are just sitting around, yakking about, current events and cooking, and, it just a son of a chat show,
Daily show or weekly show?
I don't know if it was, I don't know if it was daily or not. I didn't get that much detail out of it, but she, she was just she was like, when I always think of that song by Tom Petty, they're talking about the girl that, she moved down there and nobody'd ever seen anybody like her. And it seemed to me, from what the stories was, it was something like that. She showed up and everybody just started handing her the microphone. Just do something. She was used to be in the College of University of Indiana. She was in the drama department there, and she was and some famous guy was with her. I always try to drop his name, but I can't think of it right now. But no, I had a lot of influence from parents that always wanted to have a show going on, have music going on the radio. My dad had a jukebox in the house, and he had 45s all lined up in there, and you could set it all the way across which side you wanted to play of the records. So I was hearing people represent some of the great past singers, and I was able to be influenced by that. Ray Charles. I mean, 2 other people tonight have mentioned Ray Charles. That guy's he's like a manifested God or something on earth, I think. It's just like the angels said, okay, we got to put something together that'll really get everybody's attention and let them feel something sacred for at least 3 minutes. And Ray Charles provided that.
Wonderful stories, Mick. Thanks for sharing those with us, and thanks for your songs. Love your blues.
You're very welcome, Dave. Thank you for letting me talk. Thanks.
All right, let's give it up for Mick. Oh, lots of fun. I'm also loving the blues kind of cruise we're going on tonight. But we're gonna see what our next performer has in store for us. It's John Paul Dove from Union, Mississippi. What are you playing?
Well, I'm going to start off with a song that's kind of become one of my favorites. It's called Enemies. And I'll get going with that. There is a screen door between you and the night. I know it draws you. A thousand little lights reflecting in a memory that haunts you. The feeling in your soul, the longing to go out again and see. But remember, they don't love you like me. And the devil, he's gentle as a lamb, and liars are all such gentlemen. They tell you things that make your knees grow weak. Honey, that ain't what it means to love your enemies. I've seen your sad eyes. It's funny how your freedom can change you. You've been worn and stripped away, but I won't blame you for all the things you've been through. It breaks my heart to see you running around with those who cannot see that you were meant for greater things. And the devil, he's gentle as a lamb, and liars are all such gentlemen. They tell you things that make your knees grow weak. Honey, that ain't what it means to love your enemies. Oh, don't run from my love, I'm not your enemy. Tell me, was I good to you? Was I there for you when things were crazy? Honey, what we've had is true. This love has been the only thing that saved me. We can meet down by the river. We can be free
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. That's very kind, generous. So this next song that I wrote, I was watching TV one night and just kind of as an exercise, just put on a Western and had about 10 minutes to do it and just kind of did a stream of consciousness thing. And so this is my attempt at doing a Western song. And in tribute to Charlie Hewitt there, I'm going to do my Western song with my hat. This is for you, Charlie. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try that again. They lit a fire, they called it sun. I've been scattering ashes since I was born. We sail the sea called gravitas. We will never want for time, but time will want for us. There's an echo in the canyon, rumbling in the hills. If I don't find redemption, I'm scared I never will. Windows closed, return to dust. Time will never wait for us. Roll and toss and swim we must on the sea of gravitas. There's an echo in the canyon, rumbling in the hills. If I don't find redemption, I'm scared I never will. There's an echo in the canyon, rumbling in the hills. If I don't find redemption, I'm scared I never will. I'm scared I never will. All right.
Wow.
Beautiful song.
Oh, thank you so much.
You could just dive into those lyrics for hours. I love it.
Well, I'm really not sure what that last song even means. There was something in there. It came out.
Thanks, John Paul. You sing with a lot of emotion. It really comes out. Fine singing, fine playing, but the emotion is what grabs me. Would you talk a little bit about musically where you come from, what you were listening to when you were a kid, the kind of music that grabbed you?
Well, you know, the house that I'm living in right now is in Union, Mississippi. Now it's about an hour from anywhere, which anywhere in Mississippi is about 3 hours from really anywhere. So, that's the house that my grandfather grew up in, and so as a child I would go there, and he was really into Jimmy Rogers, Hank Williams, you know. So I grew up listening to that. And he was a great singer. My dad was a musician, and he really got me into, like, I listened to a lot of Jackson Browne. I was really into a lot of early Springsteen. Was really into that, yeah, just through the years I've just been really drawn to good storytellers.
Love the story songs, yeah, and the emotion really, really, really hooks me. What have you got going on down in your neck of the woods right now? Are you getting out to play a little bit?
As much as possible. I've been trying to get into some songwriter circles, and so out at Natchez. If you're ever in Mississippi, Natchez is a great place to visit, but it's right there on the river. So
We've got that. I made a note of that, and we're going to publish that on our, I don't know if you know, on our website. We have a whole page that's all about the local shows, to bring people to those shows. So,
and I just want to say thank you so much for having me and being a part of this. This is an amazing thing you've got going on. So
we really appreciate you coming and love your music, and we want to have you back for sure. Okay. Thanks so much, John.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Back to you, Laura.
Yes, thank you so much, John. This show is only as amazing as the performers that we have on it, and tonight I think is a great example of the range of all the different flavors of things that you can get when you have an open mic like this. And we've got another flavor of the night for you. It's Laura Zucker from Lafayette, California.
Okay. Oh, wait. Unmute myself. I think I already did, right? You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Well, I mean, gosh, everybody's been so great. And, you know, the hardest part about this is choosing your song. So I was like, oh, well, I got to do a blues song. Oh, wait, no, I have to do a story song. And then there was the whole radio thing. Was that you, Mick? My dad was a radio guy, too. In New Brunswick, New Jersey. So I think I'm going to start with this song. In my life before this life, I was a lawyer. I'm a recovering lawyer. And I used my skills of deposition to ask my mother about her first date with my father, how they met. And we lived in New Jersey. And so those of you in New Jersey, whoever you may be, and other places, who may have a refinery nearby, will totally get this song. This is called By the Refinery Lights, which, believe it or not, is a love song about my parents meeting and early life. 99.6% true. She was just a schoolgirl, only 17, on the afternoon that they met. At the radio station, she was at the microphone singing a Mozart duet. He was all of 22, fresh from the army. He was charming and handsome and worldly. In the engineer's seat behind the glass wall, dreaming of what his life could be. And he was struck by her beauty. She was shy in his sights, and neither imagined that soon they would kiss by the refinery lights. refinery lights. So he wrote her a letter. She replied. He came to pick her up in his beat-up old car. The radio was broken, so he improvised, and she laughed until she cried. And they parked and talked for hours, long into the night, and neither imagined that they'd fall in love by the refinery lights. Oh, by the refinery lights. The huge Hess oil refinery lit up the sky for a mile or more. Well, they thought it looked like a magical ship washed up on their shore. They never noticed before. They parked in the shadow of tanks and of towers and pipes where the oil was carried. And there in the glow of the beacons and flames, he asked if she'd like to be married. And she was his for the asking, and they held each other tight, because neither imagined that life would begin by the refinery lights. By the refinery lights. Oh, by the refinery lights.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Woo! The .04 that was not accurate, she said, he had to ask me twice. It's like, good for you. So this second one is a kind of brand new. I have a new record that will be out probably in June. I call it a record. It's not a record. It's not an album. It might not even be a CD. Who knows, y'all? What are we doing? A project. And this one, you know, despite my word background, I was a lawyer, you know, whatever. You know, those times when you get through a situation and you walk away and you're like, oh, I should have said, fill in the blank. So this, this was an experiment for me because it's a bunch of fragments that, I mean, you'll hear about a situation that I was in a long time ago. It's called What I Would Have Said. And I'm still learning how to play it. Okay, here we go. This is how it goes. If I ever, I would never, I could only, if I tried. What if I had been, if I were all in, how would it even, how could I decide? What I would have said, I would have left the hopeless tangle of words in my head, spoken with my heart instead, spoken with my heart instead. There was a time when I didn't know then if there was one thing, if I could find, if I thought you, if it was true, would I still have? Oh, why did I? What I could have said, I could have left the hopeless tangle of words in my head, spoken with my heart instead, spoken with my heart instead. Worlds collide, hopes wake, words fail, hearts break. Is it too late? What I should have said, I should have left that hopeless tangle of words in my head, and spoken with my heart instead, spoken with my heart instead.
Wonderful.
So sweet.
Wonderful
Thank you.
songs, Laura. Wonderful songs. Talk about well, that refinery lights. You know, I can totally see that, because you would see the light would probably be those orange-looking lights, and it'd be reflected on metal. There's a lot of metal around, and the ambiance of that. I can totally see them in a car, sitting, talking, a young couple. I can totally see it. Beautiful, beautiful song, beautiful
Great.
images.
Thank
Talk
you. And
about-
go ahead. Sorry, Dave.
No, that's yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, that's what they said. It was like so magical. There was
Well, it is,
flames
visually.
and lights, and because it was on the edge, it was on the shoreline, and they said it was like a magical ship, and it was just
Yeah.
ours. We were the only ones in the world, you know. It's very sweet.
By
Really
day,
sweet.
a nightmare world. By night,
Yeah,
magical
right.
and beautiful. Yeah. I think
Right.
Springsteen has a lot of songs with that ambiance of the industrial and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, similar area, to be
Yeah,
honest.
well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, talk about your early influences in music a little bit.
Oh, like everything. You know, I'm classically trained pianist. I play a whole bunch of instruments. Growing up, so my mom, you know, it referenced in the song, she was a light opera singer. And so we had a lot of classical music in the house. My dad was an early folk music nut. She was a beautiful singer. He loved music passionately, couldn't play, couldn't sing, couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, but just loved everything. So there was music all the time, and all of it, you know, rhythm and
How-
blues, folk, you know, early Kingston Trio, Harry Belafonte. And then, of course, there was, you know, I discovered FM radio. You know, it was amazing.
How old were you when you picked up a guitar?
Probably high school, and I, you know, I played a little bit in college, but I really didn't start playing or writing until You know, I want to say like 2005. You know, when I had a life after a life after a life, and I went to every open mic I could go to. I joined every songwriting organization I could. I listened, I watched, and I learned everything that I can do now. I learned by watching and listening. And so I want to encourage anybody who might be out there watching, you know, any other middle-aged broads like myself, and not broads, it's really never too late to reinvent yourself and just this is, I am saturated in this. This is my heart and my soul, and it really wasn't at the beginning of my life. So I say, if you're just starting out, right on, just keep doing it, keep going.
Thanks so much, Laura. Really enjoyed your music, and we'll enjoy having you back. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, let's give it up for Laura. Amazing performance. And with that, we've only got one more performer tonight. And bringing us in, closing out the night, it's going to be Jimmy Joe Natoli from Dale, Texas.
This song I wrote this a few weeks into the pandemic. After, we were all sitting in lockdown, all scared about what was happening, what was going to happen next. And I woke up from a dream and wrote the dream down, and it became this song. Took a drive to my hometown, first time since it all began. I didn't recognize Main Street. It was like a wasteland. There used to be a pizzeria. You know we loved that place. The music store where I learned to play guitar. I felt a tear roll down my face. Mama, there's something going on here. What's happened to our town? The school has been boarded up. The stores have been knocked down. She said the mom and pop shops are all gone. They took them down to make room for more apartments and condos. There's a new school, I think they call a Zoom. Down the road there was a hardware store. They had everything you'd need. By the wall behind the 5 and dime, we used to go to smoke weed. I drove past the soccer field. It was all overgrown. The light's still on at the liquor store. I guess I should have known. Mama, there's something going on here. What's happened to our town? The school has been boarded up. The stores have been knocked down. She said the mom and pop shops are all gone. They took them down to make room for more apartments and condos. There's a new school, I think they call it Zoom. There's a new school, it's called Zoom.
Yeah, so true.
I was a school bus. I am a school bus driver, and during the first 6 or 8 months or so, school was virtual only. So I was actually driving a Wi-Fi bus. And that means that kids that didn't have internet needed, we had Wi-Fi in the buses. So we'd just park outside of their homes and be a hotspot for them while they went to Zoom school. All right, this one goes back to my childhood when I just loved Evel Knievel. And I got a little too into it, and this is a true story. Ditched my old trike, got my first real bike when I was 6 or 7. I rode it up and down, a block and all around. I was in kid heaven. One day I was bored, I found an old barn door. I made a ramp with an old truck tire. I picked up my pace, determination on my face. Jumped the ramp, man was I on fire. I laid 3 tires on the end and jumped again. Checked the bike, made sure the chain was greasy. I laid down 3 more beyond the old barn door, but jumping 6 tires was too easy. So then I got my friend to put another one on the end. When I jumped, man, I knew that I could fly. I said 1 more will do, on second thought, let's make it 2. You never know until you try. I felt like a champ when I hit the ramp. I was doing just fine, but I knew I'd tempted fate. When I cleared number 8, my front wheel got stuck in number 9. I went flying, but my bike stayed behind. For a moment, I was Superman. I sailed head first into the grass and the dirt. Didn't turn out as I planned. And when I came to, I was black and blue. My friend was looking down at me. He lifted me up. He said, "You've had enough. You might as well be riding up a tree." I left it all behind me, but a bent bike to remind me. Fixed the wheels, straightened out the seat. There was no deciding, but I just kept on riding to that maple tree up the street. I never noticed before till I looked down at the floor, the perfect slope of the roots. If I could wrangle my bike up that angle, I'd fly right out of my boots. So I rode back to the yard, got a good running start. The sky was calling down to me. Full steam ahead, well I felt a sense of dread when the bike and me climbed that maple tree. When I came to, I was black and blue. My friend was looking down at me. He lifted me up, said, "You've had enough. Why'd you go riding up a tree?" He lifted me up, said, "I've had enough. Why'd you go riding up a tree?"
Whoa. Whoa. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. That's the Jimmy Joe that I remember seeing at a show in Portland at the Northwest Portland Hostel, which is like the Rolls Royce of hostels. I mean, you're there, it's like, this is like a dream. And I remember you playing with a lady, I forget who it was, but you were behind her, reaching around her and playing her guitar, and you were both playing the same guitar.
Yeah, it's Chrissy.
As I recall, so needless to say, and I was pretty impressed, and I was thrilled that you were coming on our show. So thanks for coming. That's some you're from Texas, and I hear some Texas swing there and stuff going on, and you're in Austin.
I'm from New York.
Oh, no.
Originally.
Now tell me you were a stockbroker too, like these other people.
No.
No.
Never a stockbroker.
You wouldn't admit to that.
No. Been playing
Okay.
guitar since I was about 11. And never had a guitar too far away from me since that time.
Yeah.
Always had all kinds of other jobs to support the music habit. You know, I've done all kinds of things, but school bus driver's been the one that I held on to that I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get the summer off, right? And that's cool.
Yeah, that's.
Is that actually
ended up
true
seeing
that
one
you
in,
drove the school
Portland.
bus up to give an internet access to the kids? Is that
That's right. Yeah.
unbelievable?
Yeah. So I had all day to sit in the bus, and I had a little guitar. I've got a couple of school bus guitars that. One's
I
called
love it.
Charlie. The kids all
What
sign
a-
a guitar at the end of the school year.
Now there's a dream job right there. That's pretty cool. So what's going on in Austin these days?
Austin's coming back to life, and I'm just working on getting myself back out there and performing more.
Got any trips to Portland planned soon?
We were hoping to go this. It's not going to happen this year, but maybe the following summer. Yeah, we were hoping to do 2022.
Yeah. Really enjoyed your songs, Jimmy Joe. Thanks so much for coming on Open Mic America.
Yeah, it was a great lineup today. Great music.
Thank you. Laura?
I couldn't agree more, Jimmy. Let's give a big round of applause for Jimmy and for all of our amazing performers tonight. It really has been an incredible show. I want to thank all of our performers, each of them. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, John. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Charlie and Libby. Thank you, Gillis. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Nick. It wouldn't have been as half an amazing a show if we didn't have all of you here with us. And of course, I want to give another shout out to my co-host. Thank you, Dave, and thank you, TK, for helping make sure that this show ran as smoothly as it did.
Yeah, thank you to Laura, TK, and Dave very much. Thanks for making
Yeah.
this possible for us. It's great to see everybody again.
Indeed, Nick. And to all of you watching at home, thank you too, because it wouldn't be nearly as fun if we didn't have an audience to perform for. And if you liked the show tonight, please spread the word to all of your friends, all of your family. Do it through word of mouth, do it through social media, or if you want to check out our website, openmicamerica.com, and you go to the green room section, you can find your very own poster to put up like the one that Nick has, or you can get your own t-shirt like the one that Charlie's wearing tonight. So if you feel like repping Open Mic America, head to the green room section of the website. But if you don't feel like checking out our website, please check out your local open mics. That's why we're here, to show support for our brick and mortar open mics. And we'll have all of the open mics that our performers mentioned at the top of the show in our website under the local open mics tab. There will be open mics for all over the US, so please check that out. And we'll also have links to all of the performers' websites on our website as well. Again, that will be openmicamerica.com. We hope that you check it out. But that's the show for tonight. Our next performance is going to be on April 17th. It will be hosted by Daphne Ramil and Pete Summer, and you'll have to stay tuned for the local lineup. Where will that be? You guessed it, openmicamerica.com. But for now, we're all going to wave goodbye because it's the end of the show. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.